first look video from InfluenceWP. We are checking out a WordPress plugin called FuseWP. As it shows on my screen, this is going to connect WordPress to your CRM and email marketing platforms. Before we poke around the website and then look at the actual solution together, just a quick bit of housekeeping. First look videos cover products and services that we have no prior experience with. They show vendors how new users experience their website, products, and services. These videos are unedited, high-level introductions that are not sponsored or paid for, and they contain no affiliate links. If you would like videos like this or other types of videos created for your business, go to influencewp.com/partners and request your free lifetime partner membership. And we thank FuseWP for being a partner. If you go over to the InfluenceWP website, find the deal section and just do a search for FuseWP in this case, you will find an exclusive deal for this solution. All right, let's poke around the website here a bit. The website is FuseWP.com. That's FuseWP.com. And I poked around the website a bit before hitting record. Typically, I dive right down into the footer, but I wanted to draw attention to all of the e-commerce, LMS, and membership plugins that are supported by FuseWP. Very familiar names in the WordPress space, all the way from WooCommerce to Gravity Forms to ACF, and so on and so forth. Same thing goes for integrations. Lots of integrations with heavy hitters, big names in the WordPress space. We are going to specifically look at WooCommerce subscriptions, and MailPoet in this case. This is not to show favoritism towards these solutions by any means. It just so happens that the previous video I did for InfluenceWP involved WooCommerce and MailPoet. So I'm just going to keep rolling with that since it's already installed on my test site. All right, diving down into the footer, they have an affiliate program if that's something that you're interested in. I'm going to go to the documentation page. I want to look at the changelog. They have other products: Mail Opt-in, Profile Press, Feedback WP, Crawl WP. You can find this team and the company on Facebook, Twitter, X, and YouTube. And the company behind this is called Proper Fraction. Okay, so they've got those other solutions as well. Looking at the documentation, which I've briefly looked at, right off the bat, I spotted MailPoet right at the top. So I thought, hey, let's just roll with that. Like I said, because I just did a video on MailPoet, so it just made sense to do that. But depending on what solution you go with, that they integrate with, it looks like there's great documentation here. The only thing on this page that if I had a little bit of feedback, if you're watching this, FuseWP is a search box somewhere in here at the root of your documentation. Once you go into one of your blog posts, you have a search box. So I think if you brought that out to the main level here, that would be awesome. Okay, looking at their changelog, something I see right off the bat that I love, I wish every plugin developer or company would do this, is dates. Put dates with your changelogs. That is awesome. So a very active changelog here, which is great to see, and very clear delineation between what's been added, fixed, and improved. So that's also nice to see. I'm going to move the documentation over to my other screen just in case I need to reference it. But yeah, let's get rolling. FuseWP.com if you want to go check out their website. So what I have is the latest version of WordPress. I have the 2025 theme, which I don't even think comes into play here, but I'm just going to mention it. I have FuseWP Pro activated and licensed up. I have the free version of MailPoet. I have WooCommerce, and I have WooCommerce subscriptions. I also have MailPoet Premium that I haven't removed from the site yet, and I'm going to show you why. So if we go to MailPoet and we go to automations, what we're doing here with FuseWP, from everything I've read, is it's automation, right? It's syncing your users with your CRM and email marketing platforms. So there's an automation piece to it. If we go into MailPoet, and let's say we want to start with a template, and then right at the top we see the ability to create some automation. With MailPoet out of the box without Premium, it's more about onboarding. So somebody purchases something, somebody signs up for something, it's just intake, onboarding. There's not so much about what you can do with if someone cancels a subscription or They're no longer your customer or whatever the case may be. For lack of a better term, let's just call it offboarding. You don't really have that as part of MailPoet, the free version. Okay. So what you could do then, or you think you could do, you could create an automation. You come over here and you realize you need the premium version. So let's activate that. Then we go into automations and it opens the doors for all sorts of automation. So I already covered this in the previous video. So I'm not going to go through this again. This is not a video specifically for MailPoet, but you see here that you now have the option. What if your Woo subscription changes? Like maybe they sign up for the initially and then they cancel. What kind of actions do you want to take as far as your email marketing lists? So you need a premium for that. But let's say for whatever reason, MailPoet Premium isn't something you're going to use. You could look at something like FuseWP. So I'm going to go over, just click on FuseWP here and just see what we see. So at the top, they're saying global settings, enable other sync on profile update. Check this box if you want to trigger synchronization for our various membership and e-commerce plugin integrations when users' profile are updated. So it sounds like someone updates their profile and it syncs into any of the integration, that you have active. So in this case, my eyes immediately are drawn to MailPoet down here with a green check mark. So we have MailPoet enabled. So I'm guessing this right here says, hey, if Ryan goes in and he updates his user profile in WordPress, it's going to automatically sync over to MailPoet. Sounds like that's what that does. Next step is install missing database tables. That sounds more like a troubleshooting thing. And then the same for clear bulk sync queue. Remove data on uninstall. So every plugin should have this, in my opinion. It's the ability to, if you down the road, you say, I no longer want to use FuseWP, then you go to remove the plugin. You want it to clean up after itself, to take any entries in your database or FuseWP and remove them. A little bit of a pro tip here. If you remove FuseWP, you go a couple weeks and you realize your database has entries for FuseWP and you want to easily remove them, you can install FuseWP again, check this box, and then uninstall it, and it will clean up after itself. That's if you are. Some people are more comfortable doing that, and they don't know you can do that, but they're more comfortable doing that than getting into the actual database and removing stuff manually. So just a little bit of a pro tip there. But as I said, we see MailPoet here is, we got a green tick box here. So let's click configure. Connected because MailPoet is installed and active on the website. Okay, so that's easy. I think we're done as far as the configuration goes. I'm guessing if I was to dive into these others, because they're not installed, it's either you're going to have to install them and they're just going to work, or maybe there's some additional configuration that needs to be done. But again, it depends on what you're trying to integrate with. Let's go over to user sync, because that's the only other menu item I see. Add your first sync rule. Keep WordPress synchronized with external marketing integrations and third-party applications. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to click add sync rule. Our source in this case, I want to test signing up for a WooCommerce subscription and then canceling it and moving a user between lists. All right, so our source is going to be WooCommerce subscription. Our source item, I created a test subscription product. And our destination. So sync customers or users in WooCommerce subscriptions with your email marketing software based on their subscribed product and subscription status. If a subscription status changes, move them in and out of email lists, basically. Yeah, that's what I read in the documentation. So let's see if we can make this happen. I'm going to click add destination. Subscription status is active. We integrate with MailPoet. Okay, so by default, this is just the default MailPoet list. So let's go over to MailPoet. Let's create a new list. Let's call this, I'm just going to make something up, IWP onboard. Save. Let's make a new list called IWP offboard. Save. Let's go back into our sync rule. And we're going to have to refresh the screen. So I'm going to click save. All right. Hopefully, when I refresh, it'll still be there. No. Okay, so a little bit more feedback for you, FuseWP. When you come through here, people might get frustrated. So maybe have a way to save progress. It could be one thing. You could also have a note in here that says basically like make sure you have a list ready to go. I don't know if this is in your documentation or not. Let me take a quick peek. I'm gonna do a search for the word list. Yeah, in your documentation. So maybe some prerequisites, something like that, because you clearly saw that I just didn't know that I needed to have a list set up ahead of time. And a bonus would be, let me show you. So WooCommerce subscriptions, test product, test subscription, add destination, subscription status active, integrations MailPoet. Right here, if we had the ability to just on the fly create a list right here. So that would be a really cool thing. So they don't have to leave the screen. Or like I said, just give us the ability to save our progress here. Okay, select list, IWP onboard, send a welcome email, enable to send welcome email to new subscribers. I'm not sure if that's using MailPoet or if that's a feature of FuseWP. So if I go, so on the Fuse website, if I go here, if I just do a quick search, again, there's no search box here, so I'm gonna do what I can. Do the search for the word welcome. So there's nothing there. If I go into the MailPoet Connect and do a search for welcome, there's nothing there. So next bit of feedback, FuseWP, again, is something to help in that area. Like what are we talking about here? Maybe a tooltip or something like that. So I'm gonna disable that for now. Map custom fields. So what fields do you want to map over to mailbox? We're just gonna go with the defaults, which is first name, last name. Yeah, that looks good. And let's save. Okay, now we need what's going to happen if they cancel their subscription. So I'm going to add another destination. Subscription status canceled. MailPoet again. This time we're going to choose the offboard list. We're going to disable the welcome email, and we're going to just keep the mappings. Okay, so now we should be all set whether we have an active subscription or a canceled subscription. Let's go over, before we run anything, let's go to MailPoet. Let's go to lists. We see that in offboard and onboard that those lists are empty. Alrighty, so let's go to the front end of the site. Let's go to the shop. Let's buy this subscription. Okay, bought the subscription. Let's just go check our orders to make sure it's in there. Yep, completed, subscription, active, all good. Okay, let's refresh our MailPoet lists. And we are not in that list yet. Let's go over to subscribers. And yeah, I am not in that list. So that makes me think I probably got an email that I need to confirm my subscription. Okay, some things are happening in my email right now on my other screen. So it looks like I'm just going to wait just a second for something to come through. These are the transactional emails, by the way. So your order information and whatnot. Okay, there we go. I'm now in the IWP onboard. Okay, now I just got the email to confirm my subscription. So I do that. There we go. There we go. So I'm in the IWP onboard list. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to cancel my subscription. Let's go back to our lists and refresh. And I should now be in the IWP offboard list. There we go. Okay, super, super cool. FuseWP does exactly what it says on the tin. Super easy to use. Uh, yeah, nothing but good things to say about it. A couple bits of feedback that are, could be easily solved. And yeah, if this is something that interests you, I, again, influencewp.com/deals, go grab that exclusive deal. And I think Fraction WP, Proper Fraction, for being a partner of Influence WP. And thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.